everyone, and welcome to Some Plus Cuisine. My name is Harper, if you did not know, and today we're going to taste test and review Costco's Tuxedo chocolate cake. So my main goal in this video is, of course, seeing how it tastes. So with that, let us begin. Okay, so first things first is, of course, does it look really nice? I would say yes. I think that, I'm pretty sure that Costco, they make all these cakes, you know, by hand, homemade, or as homemade as you can probably get from a ginormous retail store. So it looks really nice. You can see it has chocolate ganache, darker chocolate, and then, you know, more light chocolate, and then of course a lot of milk chocolate. I think this is a white chocolate, what's it called, level. It could be vanilla, but I think it's gonna be white chocolate. I don't really know. I probably should read the box and it'll tell me, but I'm just giving you my little point of view without really knowing what I'm talking about. But more or less, let's see how it actually cuts, and then of course how it actually tastes. I did this kind of shot a really long time ago and it looked really cute, so we're gonna try it again. Actually, I'm gonna have it like that, but let us just cut. I don't want to have a little bit because, you know, it's very, very rich and I don't want to die. So just gonna cut it. Okay, it feels really nice. You know, it's easy to cut, which is good. Very soft. It is, you know, kind of cold, very cold. So that might be also an issue, but it feels pretty good. So I'm going to just toss it in there. And then the cross section looks mostly exactly what you can see from the other side, because, you know, it's a whole thing, blah, 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 not a big deal. Okay, so we are back. So more or less got the cake, and let's see how it tastes. So I'm gonna try to get every layer and then go from there. So I'm just cutting it. It feels really good. It feels very moist. I hate that word, but I'm gonna say it because it's true. But more or less, let's see how it actually tastes. So. Okay, so I've had a couple of slices of the cake, and so let's talk about it in its entirety and of course my review. So number one, I actually really enjoyed the cake. It was not incredibly, but it was a little bit, in my opinion, because I'm just used to like regular cake, so it's a very low bar when it comes to, you know, uniqueness, but in my opinion it was a pretty unique in the way that the white layer of whatever was not white chocolate, was not vanilla. It was a cream cheese icing, which I thought was really, really cool. And because of that, it gave a really, really unique taste throughout the cake, you know, as cream cheese icing does. It was slightly savory, but also sweet, and it had that unique tang that cream cheese icing does give everything. As a whole, it wasn't that sweet, or in my opinion, it wasn't that sweet, but you know, I'm of course used to a more overpowering sweetness, so more or less, it's like this very unique taste that I actually really enjoyed, coupled with the fact that it was incredibly rich, made this cake very easy to not eat entirely. It was really, really decadent, really, really rich, and I was actually planning to make this video into like a challenge video, and I'm very happy I did not, because I've literally had like 5 ounces of this cake, like this much of this cake, you know, like not a lot, and I'm already like tapped out. I'm like, this is enough for me, I'm okay. So when it comes to like party cake, it's actually really, really great because it is pretty small, you know, in comparison to the other Costco cakes at Costco, it's pretty small, but because it's so rich and decadent, you can easily, you know, have a small slice and feel completely satisfied without having to, like, you know, get some more and then, you know, run out of cake, in my opinion. Then again, you know, I'm a very small person who does not have a big sweet tooth or a sweet tooth entirely, so take this with a grain of salt, because again, I'm not the best when it comes to sweet goods, because I can say 1 cupcake is good for me. Actually, that's a lie. I'll always say 2 cupcakes are as good for me. So more or less, it has a unique twang to it. It's not as sweet as I thought it was. It has a little bit of savoriness because, you know, it does have a lot of dark chocolate in it, so it's not like very overly sweet. It's very, very decadent. It's very, very rich, and it looks really nice. When it comes to a rating, 1 out of 10, 1 being terrible, I can't wait to finish it, 10 being amazing, I will totally get it. I recommend everybody getting it. I would say a solid 8, because some people just do not like cream cheese icing. I actually don't like it a lot. I think it's a little bit too weird for my palate. which is really sad. It's not a, you know, regular sweet cake. So if you want, you know, a sweeter cake like for kid's birthday, I would definitely say this is not a kid's cake because children usually like something sweeter. And actually, I forgot to say this, but one big thing, which is why I'm giving it an 8 instead of a 10, is after you cut through a little bit of the cake, you're gonna say like a solid inch, the actual dough, like cake, chocolate cake part gets dry really quickly. I'm betting it's probably because it's sitting out for a while in the Costco like area. It looks like, you know, they, I've watched cooking shows, I know what this is called. They simple syruped it, I think it's called that, like the outside, but they didn't, or at least they didn't really simple syrup the inside, or if they did, it kind of absorbed into the cake. Thankfully, the other, you know, components, the, you know, the multiple layers of icing, ganache, cream cheese icing, whatnot, it does balance out. But sometimes, you know, you're eating the cake and you accidentally just have one piece of just the regular cake without anything else, and you can definitely say, oh, this is dry. So that's a big, huge, you know, cross X, whatever I call it, for me. Then again, I'm giving it an 8, so it's still really, really good, you know? Is it worth the $15, $16 you're gonna get for a cake? I would say yes, because Costco has really good prices, and they of course make this out of scratch. They're making this homemade in-house, so you know you're getting a pretty good product. And for, you know, $16, $15, that's a pretty good price for a pretty fancy cake. So I would say yes, but you're going to have to gear it to a particular crowd. I'm gonna say like snooty, not snooty, but like more adult oriented, you know, parties, because of just the fact that it's not as sweet and little kids usually don't like that. I'm not really a little kid anymore. I think that when it comes to like, you know, far, you know, closer to adulthood, I'm definitely adulthood at this point, which is surprising how I look like I'm 12, but more or less, trust me, I'm 19. I definitely can tell that kids probably won't like this cake, except if a kid it's really weird or like way more mature than I was at the age of 6, 7, 8, but after that, it's a pretty good cake. I really enjoyed it, and as a whole, I'm gonna really enjoy it, you know, over the next like 3 months, because I'm definitely eating this very soon. You know, toss it into the freezer and have it in small bites. I hope you guys like this video. If you like this video, click like. If you want more from moi, just subscribe. But with that being said, I hope you guys have a amazing day. I'll see you next time, and as usual, goodbye.